All right. Well, today we're getting into an unusual parable. It's a challenging parable, a difficult one to understand. I will try to walk you through it, give you a good sense of it. But know that going in, that this is one of the more difficult parables in the scriptures. So last week we studied one of Jesus' most beloved parables about the two lost sons. Today we read one of Jesus' most difficult parables. It is helpful to remember, and this is true of parables generally, that they are a type of illustration. Okay, they're an illustration. Jesus tells them to make a key point. Okay, there's a key point that he's trying to get across. Some parables include more than that, and they include more symbolism and things like that. We're seeing some of that in the parable of the lost sons, for example. But as we read, consider the characters and whether or how we should follow their example. Okay? Is Jesus giving us these characters as examples to us or not? So be thinking about that as we read. So let's start chapter 16. Someone read for us verses 1 and 2.
He also said to the disciples, there was a rich man and had a manager, and charges were brought to him that this man was wasting his possessions. And he called him and said to him, what is this that I hear about you? Turn in the account of your management, where you can no longer be manager.
Okay. Who are the main characters in the parable here?
Rich man.
There's a rich man.
And a manager.
And a manager. A rich man and a manager. Let's put that up on the board. Rich man. Manager. Okay. What is the dilemma that has come up for this manager?
The manager is wasting his possessions. The rich man's bringing it to his attention
Okay.
and telling him, you're a manager and you're not going to be able to continue.
Okay. Now look at verses 1 and 2 again. Reflect on this. Who says that the manager is not doing his job correctly?
Doesn't say.
Doesn't say?
It says charges were brought
It says
against him.
a certain rich man, the same the steward and him and the same was accused unto him. It said there was a certain rich man which had a steward, that the same was accused unto him. But it doesn't say he's accusing him, but at least he was accused of doing it from somebody.
So somebody has accused the manager, hasn't he? Does that, if you're accused, does that mean you're guilty?
No.
Okay. Okay. So keep all of that in your mind as we go. Okay. Keep all of that in your mind as we proceed. And we look at this dilemma that has come up here. Let's see. Someone now read for us verse 3.
And the manager said to himself, what shall I do, since my master is taking the management away from me? I am not strong enough to dig, and I am ashamed to beg.
What's his problem? What's his dilemma?
He can't work, do the manual labor, and he's too proud to ask for help.
Okay. He's too proud to go out and beg like we see folks on the corners all the time here in the city. And it's not just here, in case you didn't know that. It's not just here. A couple of years ago, Susan and I flew to Maine. And we were going to go and vacation up there. And when we came away from the airport, we hadn't gone a mile, I don't think, from the airport, and stopped at a corner, and there was a guy. So it's everywhere. This is happening everywhere. But this manager, he can't bring himself to do that. He can't bring himself to do it. What is it he says he can't do?
You can't dig.
Can't
You
dig.
do manual labor.
Okay. Anybody here do any digging before? Oh, so you guys are all ready to go out and dig? No. Can if I have to.
Well, I feel like this could be interpreted in two different ways. Like either he doesn't have the strength or capability to work, or he's making an excuse.
Okay, it could. Okay, he could be making an excuse. Could be making an excuse. And I get it. I get it. When I was out at Alex and Jen's in Illinois, we dug a trench out there for their drainage around their house, 2 feet deep, about 45 feet long. And by the time we got to the afternoon, I'd dig a little bit, and then I'd go over in the shade, and I'd lay down on my back.
Digging's hard work.
It's hard work. It's hard work. When I was young, it wasn't so hard for me.
Watching them dig isn't it that much easier either.
Say again?
It's hard for me to watch them dig.
Hard.
Walk in the shade.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Mike said you should stretch first.
Oh, I did. I do stretch. Just like if I'm going for a run, I stretch a little bit. So you can understand why this man's saying this, can't you? That is very hard physical labor to do that digging, and he doesn't want to get into that. Apparently, these are the only 2 jobs in front of him here. There must not be another management job. Maybe they're in a small community, and he can't get another management position, especially if word's going around.
It could be that since he's accused of the other places where they do need a manager, saying, well, I can't hire him because we already know he does.
Yeah, they're not going to want him, are they?
No.
If they've heard these accounts. So here we are. He's in this dilemma. Let's see now how he handles the situation. Someone read verses 4 through 7.
I have decided what to do, so that when I am removed from management, people may receive me into their houses. So summoning his master's debtors, one by one, he said to the first, "How much do you owe my master?" He said, 100 measures of oil. He said to him, "Take your bill and sit down quickly and write 50. Then he said to another, "How much do you owe?" He said, 100 measures of wheat. He said to him, "Take your bill and write 80.
Okay, thank you, Mike. What's this fellow up to?
He's trying to build favor with the other people, so they'll invite him in. So he's doing what he's accused of, too. He's giving away his master's.
Okay. Yeah, if he wasn't guilty before, he is now. Isn't he? He's guilty now, for sure. Before it might have just been accusation. Here it clearly, he is basically robbing his master, isn't he?
Yeah.
By changing those accounts and lowering what people would pay for the different items. Yeah. Have you thought about that before? If you're working for somebody and you're on the clock and you're trying to perform a job, that if you're not doing your job,
Stealing time.
you're stealing time, aren't you? That's stealing time from the management. Yeah. Yeah,
A lot of people don't look at it that way, though.
make sure this filters down to your children and grandchildren so they have an appreciation of that. When you agree to take a job, that you do the job, right? You work the job. And usually there's breaks and stuff, right? Things are worked in so you don't kill yourself. And then there's situations like if you're an old man digging a ditch, well, you got to go lay under the tree, right? And my son didn't fire me when he could keep digging. He's 30, so he can keep digging. But I had to rest. I couldn't keep up. So this is ethical stuff, isn't it? Pass along in your family and friendship relationships about how when you're hired to do a job, you do your best to fulfill that job. Okay? That's a part of things. Yeah, Alvy.
And the other reason, Pastor, is not only that, you know, if you're not doing your job, you're getting paid for it, that you're stealing it. If you don't like the job, move along and give the job to somebody that does.
Somebody who wants it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've seen that a lot too.
sure.
Okay, if you don't want it, just go on then.
Yeah. Yeah, there's people who come onto a job and they spend their whole time complaining about the job.
Yeah.
Just go on and let it do it.
Look for another. Look for another.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a little reflection here on business and what this manager is up to. Jesus is now going to start making some points. He said, well, let's stop and ask this. Is the manager an ethical guy? Is he doing what he's supposed to? Okay. So there's a no there. It started out with ambiguous, right? We didn't know for sure. There were accusations against him, but now that he's under pressure, he's gone ahead and done the wrong thing.
His true colors are showing.
His colors are coming through. How about the rich man? Let's talk about what he did. Let's go back. Someone read for us again verses 1 and 2.
He also said to the disciples, there was a rich man who had a manager, and charges were brought to him that his man was wasting his possession. And he called him and said to him, what is this I hear about you? Turn in an account of your management, or you can no longer be manager.
Okay. Reflect on that for a second.
Fire him.
He fires him.
But he's going off a hearsay.
He's going off a hearsay.
He didn't investigate further into these accusations.
Okay, what would have been maybe the normal process in a situation like this?
Still inform him what was said and say, hey, let's go over the accounts and see what's going on here.
Okay.
Then go from there, what to do.
Yeah, my sense is that a normal business practice would be to review the accounts first, right? Review the accounts first, look for the evidence before making a decision. Go ahead, Karen.
Well, you might also be assuming that he didn't suspect it already, and this is just confirming what he already knows.
That could be.
I mean,
could be.
He did say, "What is this that I hear about you?"
Yes.
He kind of gave him an opportunity to say, "This is absolutely untrue." You know,
Okay.
"Oh, I would never." But
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes when you have that sort of thing going on, you sort of know what's happening. You
Sure.
just can't put a finger on it.
Okay. Yeah, so he's suspicious for sure, and obviously others are as well, and they're bringing this up. This is some of the ambiguity in the parable, isn't it? We don't know exactly who was doing what when. We don't know exactly that, except we know that once the manager got into trouble, and now I think about it, what they typically do when they fire somebody these days is they walk them out of the building, right? So they can't do any further trouble, right? They'll walk them.
Because some of them do.
Because some of them will. Though, if they know they're in trouble and they're still there, they might make more trouble.
Yeah.
Typically they walk them out. But the rich man, was that wise for him to accuse and fire and then ask for the books?
No.
That's probably a mistake, isn't it? Go ahead.
Well, I wonder if this goes into, tells the character of the rich man, like, even based on the hearsay that he's wasting his possession, what if he's so possessive of his possessions, like they're more important to him than to retaining this
Okay.
manager?
Okay. Yeah, something's going on between the two guys, for sure. There's friction there. But yeah, I'm not 100. Well, a manager, or excuse me, you've got to manage your accounts, don't you? If you're going to run a business properly, you can't let these things go and these things happen. So I appreciate that he's trying to address a problem, and yet to me it looks a little bit backwards that he first fires him and then asks for the accounts. That's kind of fishy. That's kind of strange, I think, in my mind anyway. wouldn't be to my mind, it wouldn't be the normal course of business. Go ahead.
Maybe he knows the person that told and he believes him instead of the manager.
Sure, he's taking the account of those who are making the accusations, isn't he? He's believing them first over this manager. Yeah.
And so now the manager's showing him just what it looks like when you cook the books.
Yeah. Oh, you're accusing me of cooking the books? I'm going to cook the books, right? Yeah. What about the people that have the debt? Are they acting ethically here?
No,
No,
Okay.
they may even be the ones that started the rumor that, hey, he's doing this.
Yeah, the debtors.
they should repay their debt.
They should be paying honestly, shouldn't they? And instead, they put their hand to the account and change it
Yep,
at this guy's instruction.
yep.
Now maybe they're thinking, oh, I'm getting a discount, but these are pretty big discounts here. They're coming across.
He told me to do it.
He told me to do it. Yeah, yeah. I'm not
Even when
responsible.
they get caught, he told me
Yeah.
to do it, so I did what I'm told. I got charged. You charged me this much, that's how much I'm gonna pay.
So as you look over the story here and these different characters, is there anyone here that we should follow as an example in our lives as believers?
No.
Okay. Yeah, that's important to note about this parable. And it makes it a little bit awkward because usually Jesus will give us a better example, right? Like in the previous parable, we had the merciful father, right? Who is showing kindness to the sons and patience with both of the sons. There we had a good example. In the previous parables about the lost coins and the lost sheep, we had the good shepherd, right? Who went after the lost. And the housewife who diligently searched until she found the coin. We had positive examples, but this parable is different. This one's different because there's no positive example here. And yet Jesus is going to take this story and he's going to make some points off of it for you and for me in our lives as believers. Okay? Keep all of that clear in your mind though, okay? Because that's usually where people get hung up. They see these and they say, well, am I supposed to be like the rich man? Am I supposed to be like the manager? And they start asking themselves that question because that's the usual thing that happens in a parable. But this one, not that way. It's unusual in that respect. Let's see now. Jesus is going to make a point. Read verse 8.
The master commended the dishonest manager for his shrewdness, for the sons of this world are more shrewd in dealing with their own generation than the sons of light.
Okay, so Jesus is trying to teach us something. There in verse 8, what's he trying to teach us?
To be responsible.
Be responsible? The translation uses a word that we don't maybe use every day. What word is it there?
Shrewd.
Shrewd. Shrewd. Uses it how many times?
Twice.
Times 2. Shrewd times 2. I think this is probably the point that Jesus is trying to make. What's he saying to us about shrewdness?
Well, it looks like he's saying that the crooked will deal crookedly with the other crooked.
Jesus is telling us to be crooked?
No.
Oh, okay. You answered that really quickly. What's he telling us? Well, let's back up. What does shrewd mean? What is a shrewd person?
Clever.
Clever? Cunning?
Deceptive.
Deceptive?
Tight with the money.
Tight with their money.
It's got negative connotations, but it's, I don't know, anything clever, manipulative, or...
It can maybe be used in some different senses, can't it?
It can be used for good too.
If you're a shrewd businessman, is that a good thing?
All depends what your end goal is.
Okay?
It can be a good thing, though.
Okay? Yeah. Yeah, this is a part of the problem in interpreting this parable and applying it. Is Jesus saying that we should be shrewd like this manager?
No.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not, because then you'd be acting like a crook, right? Jesus is not telling us to be crooks. He's not telling us to be dishonest. He is telling us to be shrewd. To be shrewd. Think things through carefully and choose and make your decisions wisely. Okay, I think shrewd maybe is tending toward that thought in this case. Go ahead.
The one thing when he was talking about the accounts and breaking up the accounts, that if he had gotten the manager's, the rich man's permission, that might have been a shrewd move if they weren't going to pay that anyway.
Okay.
If they were never going to pay 100 bushels, but they could pay 50, and you could get that from them, at least something out of that, if they were going bankrupt or something like that. You would
Okay.
be the first one in to get that
Okay.
bankruptcy.
Yeah.
And so had he asked the rich man and said, look, this guy's never going to pay, can I go and get 50% or 80% of that payment? That would have been a shrewd move with his permission, but he
Yeah.
got behind his back to get his own gain,
Yeah.
and it becomes dishonest.
Yeah, the manager is acting dishonestly for sure.
Yeah,
There's a lot of places even now, they'll give you something just to get you into the store because they know you're going to buy it.
Okay.
Or
Okay.
lower the prices. That's the ideal of the sales. They lower the prices.
Yeah.
And then some of them raise prices somewhere else, or like it's been found before that they raise the price before they put it on sale.
Yeah.
So that way it looked like you got something, but you didn't because they raised the price
Yeah,
first.
they offer
Yeah.
20% off. Well, 20% off of a real high price is not really that much.
but it's got to be in line with what the master's vision is of
Yeah.
what's going on, or else you're not doing it right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Mark said- Like Mark said, a lot of times they don't do that to get you in the store.
Yeah. And then they sell you other things that are not marked down.
They know you're going to
Right.
buy something, yeah.
So I'm reading a book called Habit. It's about people's habits and what they do. And I just read a section about the store Target and how Target, they target you. They are very carefully collecting information on what you shop for. They can tell what you're going to buy when you come into the store, and before you ever get to the store, they will send you coupons because they know those are things that you're going to buy to get you into the store. That's pretty common in business these days.
Well, they got those little cards, and you swipe that card, and that keeps a record of stuff that you buy.
Sure.
And then, yeah, like
Sure.
Kroger, and then they send you coupons
Yeah.
for the things that you normally buy.
Yeah.
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 They rearranged the store, so you have to go hunt for what you
Yeah.
want.
So you gotta walk through the
And the milk is always in the back, isn't it?
I have to have that, because you don't normally go that
Yeah.
way.
They know everybody's going to buy milk, and so they put it in the back. So you got to go all the way through the store. Yeah, Joe.
Pastor, Google does the same thing.
Oh, yeah?
Just mention something, and it picks it up right now.
They track everything that you click. Everything you click, they track. Susan and I will watch a movie about this or that. This is on Netflix or something like that. Next thing you know, we're getting ads for other movies about that topic. They watch everything you do. Big Brother. And that's when it starts to feel creepy, doesn't it? Now, is this shrewd business?
Yes.
It's effective, isn't it? This is effective business. I'm going to give you an example from the Target story, which is funny but not funny. Okay? They were trying to figure out how to sell baby products to moms. And they were trying to figure out when a woman was pregnant before she had even told anybody. And this father comes in, and they're sending out coupons related to those products. Because they know that when women buy these things, they're likely
To be pregnant.
to be pregnant. So here's this young girl comes into the store, she buys a bunch of things, and then she gets ads in the mail about baby stuff, and the father comes into the store, and he confronts the manager and says, "Why are you sending my teenage daughter this bunch of coupons for baby stuff? What are you trying? You trying to encourage her to go out and get pregnant? What are you doing?" And then she ended up being pregnant.
Yeah.
Oh.
And the father was embarrassed that he didn't know what was going on in his household.
Target did.
But Target did. Target did, because they capture all this data. Yeah, there's shrewd and then there's creepy, isn't there? It may be shrewd business to put the milk in the back of the store to make people walk all the way through and see other items they might buy. That may be shrewd. But tracking you that close, that starts to get creepy, doesn't it? That's kind of creepy, what they do. What's that?
The doctor probably told her she was pregnant.
The father was surprised. He didn't know what was going on. Go ahead, Sherry.
What's always been creepy to me is, like with Joe saying Google, like you said too, tracking what you look at and everything.
Yeah.
You don't even have to look at it. There have been so many times I have been sitting talking with people.
Oh, yeah.
Something,
Yeah.
and at night, I'm getting stuff on my phone for the very thing I'm talking about.
Yeah,
That's happened a lot.
yeah, they say that stuff's always on. It's always listening. And, yeah.
An algorithm?
Yeah, algorithm is what's calculating whether or not you have the interest in it. That's the math that tells whether you have the interest in it.
There's got to be these cameras on helicopter propeller things that we're not seeing.
Oh, you think the helicopter's going over maybe watching us too?
The cameras or anything.
Yeah. Well, when they're solving a crime, they will go around the neighborhood and collect what all the cameras have seen. I've given film from the church here to police because of things that happened out here in the streets. So there's ways to gather all that stuff. Yeah.
They get all the cell phones in the area and figure out whose cell phone was where.
Sure. Oh, sure. They can.
It's become indispensable to everybody.
They have to get a court permission of a judge to do that kind of a thing. But that data's out there and they can go digging it. Albie, did you have your hand up?
Yes, there's algorithms, Pastor, like on your phone. If you say certain syllables so many times, then things will pop up.
Yeah.
But what is there, 300 million people in the United States?
Yes.
They're not monitoring everybody's phone.
I agree.
It's not, that's an impossibility.
But
you can't even get Social Security together.
well, there's a difference though between the way the businesses behave, who are trying to get an advantage in making money, and the way the government behaves, which is, kicking each other in the shins and poking each other in the eyes.
If you put it on your phone, if you ask information about it, absolutely they'll track it.
Yeah.
What they're supposed to.
Yeah. Yeah, they keep mining the data as what it's called. Yeah. Now, it's not like somebody's sitting there watching and saying, well, I'm going to see what Elvie's doing today. It's not like that. No. But your data's going into a big pot, and then they run it through the computers, and then they'll say, people in South Columbus are buying this.
Yes.
It'll be like that.
It's just like, I read something here lately, Pastor, that Columbus, Ohio has a larger rate of kidney cancer.
Oh, does it?
Specific kind, yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, there's things that can be advantageous from having all that data, isn't there?
Yeah.
You can learn things from data, things that are helpful to a community. So yeah, we're talking about shrewdness. Jesus is encouraging us to be shrewd, but he's not encouraging us to be dishonest, is he?
No.
Don't be dishonest. That's not the way of the Lord. That's not what he's asking you to do. He's not asking you to be unfair in your business dealings. He is encouraging, be shrewd in what you do. Go ahead.
It's 1984, a few years late.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I suppose in 84 that some of that stuff was starting. She's referring to a novel. There's a novel about authoritarian rule and how it exploits people's lives. And it's titled 1984.
George Orwell.
George Orwell. George Orwell.
In World War II or before World War II? Because it was supposed to be forward-looking.
Yeah.
What was going to be like in 1984.
He was a British citizen, and he was serving somewhere in the government, in the empire. I don't know, it might have been India or something. And then he spins out this story based on what he was observing and the things that were going on in the British Empire.
That
So,
Animal Farm.
Animal Farm's another one. Yeah.
Anti-communist.
They make you read these things in high school. So Jesus is teaching us to be shrewd. Look what he says again. The master commended the dishonest manager for his shrewdness. And then Jesus' observation, for the sons of this world are more shrewd in dealing with their own generation than the sons of light. In other words, God's people tend to be a little more simple-hearted, maybe a little more trusting, okay, in the way they go about things. And Jesus is saying, be careful, right? Elsewhere he says, be wise as serpents, but gentle as doves. Doves, I think it is. Yeah, be wise as serpents, but gentle as dove. Now, does that mean Jesus wants you to go around being a snake? No, that's not what he's saying. So observe that, the difference between being shrewd and being dishonest or cruel. Okay? There's a difference to be made there in the use of the words.
Yeah, he's not wanting us to be shrewd in a dishonest way.
That's right.
He just wants us to be smart.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good. Let's he makes another point now in verse 9. Let's have somebody read verse 9.
And I say unto you, make to yourself friends of the mammon and unrighteousness, that when ye fail, they may receive you into everlasting habitation.
What do you make of that?
Basically saying the same thing as the manager said earlier. I've got to give them these breaks to make friends unto them so that I can have it, but it also says you've got to get into the habit of doing this more often to keep the friendship there.
Okay.
I'll say, if you don't give me this, I'm not doing it.
So he's telling us to make friends, isn't he? He is telling us to make friends. Is that a shrewd thing to do? Yeah, friendship is a helpful thing, isn't it? If you know people, if you have contacts to work with, those are helpful things in a person's life.
But by means of unrighteous wealth?
Yeah. So make friends for yourself by means of unrighteous wealth, so that when it fails, they may receive you into the eternal dwellings. Yeah, Karen.
Could unrighteous be like earthly and eternal wealth be like good wealth? So, I mean, just what we have here on earth, we're not bringing with us. So spend that so that we have eternal reward.
Okay. I have a picture here of Andrew Jackson. Is Andrew Jackson righteous or unrighteous? Doesn't the Bible say money's the root of all evil? No?
The love for money.
The love of money. The love of money is the root of all kinds of evil, it says. So money itself is neither good or bad, is it?
Nope.
It's neither good or bad. It's what you do with it. It's what you do with it. And that's something to keep clear. Yeah, the question is, does unrighteous in this case mean, like Karen is saying, like an earthly, use your earthly wealth for good purposes, is maybe what he's saying by unrighteous wealth. Let's read it again. Make friends for yourself by means of unrighteous wealth. So use your earthly money and your earthly means to create relationships and friendships.
Maybe like not unrighteous in a negative sense, but money certainly isn't righteous in a godly sense. I mean, it's not right, it can't be righteous because it's not God created.
There's nothing to it. It's like.
Andy, you hear what they're saying about you? I'm kidding.
It's like the chair, it's,
It's inanimate object.
Okay.
It's not coming with us.
Okay. Yeah, you can't take it with you. You can't take it with you, right? So if you have the wealth, you'll be able to use it here, won't you? Will you be able to use it in eternity?
No. You can leave it to a good cause.
You can leave it to a good cause.
Yeah.
Okay. So we can take our wealth in this world and put it to good use in this world. Okay. We're not going to be able to take that to the next world.
We won't need it.
We won't need that money in the next world, will we? Heaven will have everything there that you need, won't it?
Yep.
Everything that you need. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I wonder, since there's many translations of the Bible, could this possibly be an inaccurate or misleading translation that says unrighteous?
Yeah.
Well,
I'd have to look at the Greek to see what wording is there. Dikaiosune is the word for righteousness, or the verb for righteousness in Greek. It could be dikaiosune. The on the front of it would say unrighteous. I'll have to look at that and then have to look at how it's used. If anybody has their Greek Bible on them, I'd have to dig it out of my phone. But we won't go into that today. Someone remind me, okay? Someone remind me.
Next week, Pastor. You going to be here next week?
Yeah, I should be here next week.
We'll ask you again next week.
Yeah, maybe ask me again next week, and hopefully I'll have had a chance to look that up about the translation. I know Mark has the King James in front of him, correct?
Yes,
Yeah, what does it say? Read verse 9 for us in the King James.
I did.
Oh, you did? Can you read
What I
it?
read the first time.
Oh, can you read it again?
Okay, and I say unto you, make to yourself friends of the mammon of unrighteousness, that when ye fail, they may receive you into everlasting habitations.
Okay, right. Mammon of unrighteousness is how. So yeah, that would be once again they're using that word unrighteousness as a modifier for the money. Go ahead, Karen.
NIV says worldly.
Worldly. NIV has worldly. Yeah, I'm going to have to look this one up. I didn't look at it in Greek before I came in this morning, so I will have to check that. But of this we can be sure. Jesus is not telling us to do things that are dishonest, is he?
No.
He's not going to do that. He's telling us to be careful with what we have, isn't he? Be shrewd with it, be cautious, be careful, use it well, and use it for what ends up being eternal purposes, right? I have another question about this verse that I got hung up on myself. Let's see. So we're not following the example of the rich man. We're only sort of following the example of the manager, right? In the sense that he's shrewd. We're following shrewd. We're not being the debtors. We're not going to change your bills, right? Don't start doing that. You'll get in trouble. So I'm going to take those away now. We want to be shrewd times 2, Jesus is saying to us. This part of the sentence I thought was interesting. Okay, that's a quote from Jesus with our ESV translation. Use your money shrewdly so that they may receive you into the eternal dwellings. Who's they? The Trinity, maybe? Maybe the Holy Trinity? Let's put that up here. They may receive you into the eternal dwellings. Who is this they?
Angels?
Why do you say angels?
I don't know, there's a lot of them.
They're they, right? Angels.
Well, I think the Trinity would not use the they pronoun because it's 1 and 3, not 3 and 1.
Okay. Yeah, good question. Good question as to whether Jesus would have worded it just that way. I'd go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name, singular, of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, plural. Yeah, I don't know. Not sure what to say.
Well, when we recite the Athanasian Creed, that's what it explains. Like, there's no 3 gods.
They're not 3 gods. That's true. That's right. That there are not 3 gods. There's only one God in 3 persons, right? Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Yeah. Mark, you were saying something?
Well, I was just trying to think the same thing. Basically saying he was speaking of all 3, the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost.
Okay.
As we was told in 1.
Okay.
But it's still a they pronoun, because it's more than one. When they say they, if it's you, like it says you or him. So
Yeah.
it's being more plural in that sense.
Yeah, when I was reading this week, I ran into that they, and I started scratching my head, and I thought, well, who is they? Who is they? Let's look into the sentence here. Let's see. There's some plurals. There's some plurals before verse 9. Look at verse 8. The sons of this world are more shrewd in their dealings with their own generation than the sons of light. And I tell you, make friends for yourself by means of unrighteous wealth, so that when it fails, so the they is the friends, isn't it? They is the friends. It can't be the sons of this world, because they couldn't receive you into the eternal dwellings, could they?
No.
They couldn't do that.
Is it the people that's already passed on into the eternal dwelling?
Yeah, interesting thought. So the people in heaven?
Yes.
People in heaven, we'll put that up
Is
there.
that what you said, Michelle? Stewards?
Stewards.
I was just gonna say that for me, it's like, it's secondary to the main point of getting to the eternal dwelling, and then you have unrighteous wealth, and it doesn't say if it should fail, it says when it fails.
Right. Which it's gonna, right? These things happen.
That's going away, and you wanna be in the eternal dwelling, and you're gonna meet somebody who's there.
So the essence, I think, of what Jesus is getting at is use the things you have in this life, use it shrewdly, but keep the end goal in mind. And what's the end goal? The eternal dwellings, right? The eternal dwellings, that's the end goal. You were saying something. Stewards.
We're blessed with what we have. We only have it for a short time.
Okay.
It's only gifted to us.
Okay.
So what we do with it is for the benefit of our eternal life.
Okay.
So we're stewards of our whatever we have.
So we are managers, aren't we? Stewards or managers. We are stewards or managers, and we're supposed to be shrewd, times 2, Jesus says, but not in a dishonest way.
How about the saints?
The saints, yeah, the saints are the people in heaven, they mention. People in heaven. As I read this and read it, I wondered, like Diane mentions about the angels, I found myself wondering if the they wasn't the angels back in chapter 15, because they celebrate when people go into the eternal dwellings. I wondered if Jesus wasn't referring back to those earlier parables. Or I suppose you could put the Trinity and the angels, well, and even the the saints, put them all together, they would be a big they then that way. But I found myself thinking about the angels like you did, Diane, as I read this account. The bell has rung. I see 2 hands up. We're going to take those and then we're going to pray. Kevin and then Jim.
Well, it made me think, can angels and the saints really take you to heaven when Jesus is the only the way into heaven?
So Jesus made the way for us to go to heaven. In the story of the rich man and Lazarus, the angels take Lazarus and they take him to Abraham's side. So the angels are involved, aren't they? They're involved in that kind of care and ministry in eternal things. So go ahead.
I was going to say unrighteous wealth, is that deceiving something?
In
other words, unrighteous would be not good.
It doesn't sound good, does it?
No.
I'm going to check that word. I'm going to study it a little bit this coming week and see what words are being used there and what sense they're being used in. I will probe that a little bit more. And the bottom line, though, of this difficult parable is Jesus is telling us to be shrewd, but to use our shrewdness on behalf of God's kingdom and our eternal dwelling, right? That's what he's driving toward. He's not telling us to, I erased all that. He's not telling us to be like that unjust manager, is he? He doesn't want us to be dishonest and a thief. That's not what he's getting at. Thanks, folks, for working through this with me. Let's bow our heads in a closing prayer. Heavenly Father, you give us so many gifts in spiritual ways, in physical ways. All that we have, O God, is by your kindness and your gracious hand. We ask, O Lord our God, that you would make us good managers, good stewards of what you have entrusted to us, and that everything we do would lend toward your praise and your glory, and our serving you with the angels in eternal glory, in those eternal dwellings. Through Christ our Savior we ask it. Amen. All right.